Bizarre, bizarre.
Hey, I get so many people asking me, hey, who does your thumbnails? So today I decided that I'm going to show you guys how I do my thumbnails. And since this is a gaming channel, I figured why not just kind of expand other than gaming, because I know there are people who are content creators also here. So now before I get into the actual tutorial, I want to let you guys know that the places that I get my packs from, I either get it from Katana, Medi, or I'll get it from Crust. I get my high quality PNGs from, because you are going to need thumbnail packs. Thumbnail packs are very smart because it comes with all the assets from the game. They typically update it as well every season. And so let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. I have a program here called Affinity Designer, which is replicated after Photoshop. It was actually created because people were tired of Photoshop and the subscription fees. So this is a buy it once and you're done type of application. What you're going to do is you're going to go to create a new document within that program. Everything that I say here does apply to Photoshop as well. Some type of dialogue should pop up. I've already have mine set as a template, so you're gonna need a 1280 by 720 pixels. You want the DPI to be 300, and the reason why is because 300 is good for print. As far as coloring things, I don't really mess with this, but it is RGB. All this other stuff does not matter. We're gonna go ahead and create this, and there we have it. Our blank screen. Now, when it comes to my channel, I try to be very consistent with my background. So my background is actually the same background in every thumbnail. And the reason for that is because I wanted to have my channel look clean and consistent. All right, I'm gonna open just one thumbnail. It does not matter. Okay, here we are. This is one of my thumbnails. So what I do is I go into a thumbnail pack, a thumbnail that I've already made, because as you can see, the layers are here. And as you can see, there's not many layers because you just don't need that many layers. Here we go. I'm going to hold down Control and just select layers that I want. Now, these CCs that I have helps with the coloring of everything. So if I turn these off, you'll see how it looks originally without them. Okay, I created these a long time ago, so I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all gonna have to go into y'all. It's saturation and brightness, to be honest, like for highlights and everything when it comes to thumbnails. So I'm gonna Control C that. I'm gonna take these over to my new one, because these are the ones that's always in every last thumbnail that I have. I'm gonna show y'all the background that I always have, because as you can see, when I zoom out, it is actually a map. This is the map from the house. I just want it for the sky though. So I'm gonna put this back how I want it. All right. And this is where we at. I just zoomed in to get this because I don't want too much detail. I just wanted the sky. Sometimes I'll even take this and move that out of the way, that roof out of the way, and just have this like this, which is cool. When it comes to your thumbnails, what message are you trying to relay, right? So if I go to the 6KD lobby, right? So my video for the 6KD lobby was basically how a 6KD player plays in a lobby. So I gave y'all the idea of being the enemy in the lobby because of how high my KD is. Also, I put the nuke in there because I got a nuke in that. So, and also most people who are looking at videos are really looking at videos because either you are really, you get nukes all the time. Like, it's nothing for you. It's easy. Somebody who can get a nuke, they're going to trust their setups. They're going to trust, their advice because, well, you can get a nuke and I can't. So like, clearly there's something worth listening to. So the point of the thumbnail is basically to get straight to the point. So boom, enemy, public enemy number one, and I got a nuke in that lobby. Simple as that. You don't want to overcomplicate your thumbnails because people will spaz out. Like, it's just too much information for me to read. I don't want to have to read your title and then have to read your thumbnail. To me, that is just too much, right? If I show y'all my old ones, here's one. I feel like this is just too much. Yes, it looks nice, but to me, it is just like overload, because everything that I'm saying in this thumbnail is going to probably be said in the title. The colors are nice, the words is nice, everything is nice, but it's just too much in my opinion. So this is my old thumbnail style right here. So this is the this is the, as I stated before, you want to find someone who has high quality. I'm gonna show you. If I was to open that, high quality PNGs. This is Katana's pack. Katana is my number one. Katana, between Katana and Crust, they are my number one people that I go to when it comes to things like this. And the simple reason is simply because it is high quality. If I zoom in, you can still see detail, detail, detail. You definitely want to get to the point where you're buying your PNGs from really good people. Now, can you screenshot and everything? Absolutely. You can screenshot and make that good. But I'm showing y'all my method, and this is just how I do it, because to me, it's just easier this way, and I don't have to do any other way. There are many ways to do the same thing and still get the same great results. This is just my way. I'm going to move this out the way, and I'm just going to drag this onto here. Then I'm going to zoom out, control minus, and then I'm going to hold control in the corner to keep the same constraint. It's not going to mush in. It's going to stay even horizontally and vertically. Okay. And then I'm going to zoom back in and just hold control again and see it does not shift or anything. Now, as you can see with this PNG, you see how those corners, you see how these corners are cut off? That's because he anticipates this to be quite large, like something like this, so that you see how it's just now covering everything. I'm gonna bring this down below this, because that's when the color is gonna come in. Because again, these are for the colors. I'm gonna turn that off simply just so y'all can kind of see from start to finish how this is gonna look. Now, my next thing is, typically if this is a thumbnail just to say this is how Tonto or whatever gun, the AK, whatever gun I'm using, this is the gun in Black Ops, 6, then I can leave it just like this. Of course, we're going to edit this more, but what I'm saying is I wouldn't need to add any more assets. But if I want to go ahead and say I got a nuke with it, then I'm going to go to my old pack, Control C, and then I'm going to select the background, because I need that to be behind. I need the nuke one to be behind the gun. And then up here, I'm just going to align this to the middle. It's already aligned. Thankfully, this is exactly where I want it to be, but if I wanted to take it down some, I'll just press the down button. This is already in the middle, as the alignment thing has said. So, yeah. But we're just going to leave it kind of up. Cool. All right. So, when it comes to my style of thumbnails, y'all, this is it so far as me adding assets. I would not add anything else, because everything else would just overcomplicate this. Now, let's get into the whole making this look better so that it can be more appealing to people. So let's start with the background first. I'm going to press the FX button, and I'm going to actually Gaussian blur the background a bit so that my gun can kind of stand out. So hold on, let me show y'all the background. All right, that about right there. I don't want to Gaussian blur to where you can't tell what is in the background. As you can see now, the focus is more on the gun than it is the trees and everything in the background. We're done with this right here, pretty much. We're going to go to the nuke. There's nothing there I want to change. This is where I do want to change something. So in order for me to bring more detail into the gun, I'm going to have to turn on my CCs, because the CCs have the color in it. And so I'm about to use curve for parts. And what I want to do is basically make this dark with detail. All right, let me hold the space bar and move this over a bit so I can see. All right, so here we go. I'm going to just drag this down from the middle. And as y'all can see, it's getting darker. I don't think I want it that dark though. Okay. details. How about right there is good for me. All right, let me see. I'm gonna bring it back over. Yeah, probably about right there is good for me. Yeah. And as you can see now, the blacks are more deeper, and the gold is more bam. To me, this is how I wanted this to look. So this is how it looks. When I tell you it does not take long to do my thumbnails, it don't take long. Honestly, I'm done. That's it. Except for maybe if I want to, just to bring more dimension to the gun again, go to the effects, and then hold on. So go to the effects, and then we're gonna do outer shadow, just to kind of have like a shadow, so I can do my radius kind of up, so I can kind of see. All right, and then offset if I want it to kind of come out a bit, which I probably would, but I changed this to probably 0. Yes, so I can go the other way. Okay, that's a good enough radius for me. And then I'm gonna go here and kind of take the harshness of it down, because I want it to be there but not evident that it's there. All right, let's bring this over. All right, so now you can kind of see. Let me show you the difference. All right, so this is without it. This is with it. Very subtle. Very subtle. Very subtle. Like, that's what I want. This is what I have. Now, after this, what I have to do is I have to go take this document. I have to export this document, right? So, file, export. And I typically always save this as a PSD. And I save it as whatever gun. All right, and we're gonna save that. Now, saving it as a PSD has saved all these layers. It's basically saved it as all these layers. Now, what I'm gonna have to do, because I am not using Photoshop, is I'm gonna have to go to Photoshop and show y'all the rest. So here we are in actual Photoshop, and what we're gonna do is make this dull picture look better. So what I always do is I delete that blank background, because it does not need to be there. Okay, and then the next thing you do is select the very top layer, and then we're gonna go into hue and saturation. We're gonna crank that saturation all the way up to the point where it's not bleeding colors, or it doesn't look overly saturated, because overly saturated is just, it's not cute. And then once we do that, we're gonna select all layers with holding down shift, control shift E is going to merge those layers together. We're going to go to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen, and this right here is the settings for the smart sharpen. You want to save this as a preset so that you can have it for all thumbnails. I do not change anything on here. So the amount is going to be 100. Your radius 1.0 as always. Your reduced noise at 10. And then save that as a preset, because you're going to use that for every thumbnail that you have. And then you're going to see the difference in the detail. That's what's going to bring in y'all extra detail. After that, we're then going to go to opacity and take it down to 99%. And then after that, we're going to go ahead over to export. We're going to save for web. And then within that, this is the settings that you want to have. Your preset is going to be a PNG 24, transparency selected, matte with the 2 double lines. You don't want it to be matte. You're going to convert it to sRGB. And then, of course, the image size should be the same image size as your thumbnail, 100% bicubic, and you're going to save this as well as your preset. I'm going to tell you the truth. I got this trick from a pack that I bought from someone. I don't remember whose pack it was, because it was years ago. And when I tell you, like, my thumbnails have been magnificent, I don't question it. That's just what it is. We're going to save this then, and then, of course, the rest is pretty self-explanatory. Saving it and then making sure it's under 2 megabytes. And that is basically how I do my thumbnails. That is my secret, I guess, to my thumbnails, my very clear, detailed thumbnails. It don't matter where I upload these thumbnails, they're gonna look good, they're gonna look crisp, they're gonna look clear. And that's it. I mean, I could kind of show y'all, like, if I wanted to get really fancy with it, like putting like the color behind it and stuff. But I guess I'll say that for another day. Today I just wanted to show y'all like my most basic way how I do my thumbnails. And while to some of y'all they may look boring, it's exactly what attracted y'all to my videos. Thank y'all so much for watching, and that is how I do my thumbnails. Bye. Oh.
Top notch, all I smoke, G, leave me alone. Don't call my phone with that broke shit.